Guess what? Noobs cannot see dragons in the physical realm. They're like invisible and it's very hard to connect with them at first. Don't worry, with time you'll be able to see your dragon and communicate better with it. But until then, how annoying it is to like trying to communicate with a spirit when you have like no skill to do so. I've been there, done that, and I'm here to share my experience and my tips. So, you are inside with your dragon guardian inside your house or a public place in which you cannot speak to it. Oh, and greetings, my friends! While speaking out loud, for example, or that you don't have any way to know if the dragon is answering back to you. Well, there are tricks actually for people to understand their dragon or to make some kind of code, which is what I'm gonna talk today. You can create your own code language with your dragon guardian, and this is the Dragon Pathway. I guess I'll try to help to give you some concrete tips about the elemental stuff, because it has not been told about enough. I don't see this information anywhere. I'm going to try to teach it the best I can. From my own personal experience, you can use the wind in such way that everything that is affected by the wind will move on their own when the dragon is using it. It can be tree branches, it can be wind chimes, it can be objects hanging on your roof, it can be all kind of stuff. As you can hear the wind gush or touching you. And yeah, for fire, you might look into the fire and look at the way the fire moves, what pictures appear into the fire, get into a trance, see if there's, like for example your candles, maybe your candles, if you have candles, they're gonna move on their own or burn stronger or lesser. But when you get into a trance and look at the fire, you might hear your dragon better, because apparently dragons can see fire in the void, and if you have a special candle for them, they can see it in the void and join you soon after. If you call their name, for example, with the special candle on, you can call them. For earth, I do not have a lot of experience with the earth elemental, but I presume the tree branches and the trees and the birds, which are getting possessed sometimes by the dragon. It can be animals, it can be objects even in the nature, trees, tree branches that fall out of nowhere. You can find weird sticks around, you can find places, special things that are not supposed to be there, you know, unusual earth activity. You can find strange symbols on plants and trees, and animal behaving very differently, very unusually, like deers in the forest. If they get hunted and there's a dragon nearby, they might possess the deer to scare the hunters away without hurting them. For the water can be used in so many ways. I think it's one of the coolest elements because it's literally everywhere, in the air, in you even, in the rivers, in your sea. Water is everywhere, and it's so much easier to communicate with water. When your dragon is like a water elemental, you better try to connect with water. Water can be bath, when you take a bath, the water behaving differently. You can make it colder or hotter when you ask a dragon some questions, or yes or no. Yes or no questions are always the best questions to ask to your dragon when you do try to do a code language. If it's elemental or with your hands, whatever. Just be clear, yes or no questions are the best ones to ask, especially at first. So the water, there's bath, there's the weather. You can totally influence the rain. You can influence the snow. You can influence so many things. Electricity would be more about thunderstorms or magnetic fields. If you can feel magnetic fields and that you can manipulate thunder, or just electric. There are some powers you can use to communicate with your dragon if you have a dragon which is like electrical elementals. I forgot about the water. If you put your head on the water, just be careful, do not drown. If you put your head on the water, you can hear noises, and you can hear noises through the waters when you're taking your shower, example, and you can hear like these voices or this mumbling, and it could be your dragon try to communicate through it, because you can kind of hear the astral world when you're under the water flood, because sometimes the voices come in and you can hear all these voices in your head and stuff. It's kind of creepy cool. But yeah, you can try to reach your dragon through I know you can open gates easier because water is gates. It's literally, it can be used as portal, especially in bath and showers. It's just so cool. Or rivers, or the ocean. There are so many ways with water. And electricity, same thing. You can try to tell your dragon, oh, come closer to my hands. Like, for example, I'm gonna feel the electric field of my hand is gonna get stronger if it's yes or no. I don't know about the other elements, but water is snow, it's ice, electricity, it touches pretty much everything. There are so many elements, and I'm sorry if I forgot any. I know there's like a lot of more elements, but these are the main ones, so if you have questions, please, you can ask me in the commentaries. Also, if you want to know if your dragon is there or not, it's always harder to tell when you're inside, right? Because there's like no wind, there's no this or that. Well, these are changes in the air, in the environment, and the energy, especially the energy. You're going to feel a very strong, powerful force that stares and stalks you. You're gonna feel stalked. Dragons are very curious creatures, so you might feel a curiosity of a stalker looking at you with good intentions. You will also feel the emotions of the dragon, so you might feel emotions that are not yours at all, and you're like, where does this come from? It might be your dragon. This is a way to communicate as well. A lot. And you're gonna feel like it's right there. You're just feeling some air, maybe some tingling, and sometimes some goosebumps. You will hear earring. Your ear can ring like a little bell. There's so many things. There's so many ways to know that your dragon is right by your side. But these are the main ones. You're gonna hear thoughts that are not yours. At some point you will not think, and then something's gonna answer you. Something's gonna talk to you. Someone's gonna call your name. It's pretty much a dragon. You have to trust your instinct. You won't like make up all the time. You won't like make it up all the time, sorry. And I'm sorry about my English, it's not my first language, obviously. So, this is funny. What was I saying? Yes, there's a way to communicate better with your dragon even inside, but the best thing to do is to pinpoint which elements your dragon uses the most. Like for mine, it's the wind. So if I use a wind chime or something that just hang on the roof and there's some kind of air currents and stuff, I think it's the best way for me to communicate with my dragon, because it's so easier like that. And the tree branches move with the wind, and she gushes the wind in my ear, and there are so many ways she can use the wind. So find out what element your dragon is most attracted, most drawn to, and work with that element. See if there's any changes in the way when the dragon speaks to you, if the element moves, changes, has different energy, does some special, I don't know, figures or something unusual, even paranormal, poltergeist inside your house or in public places, things that fall down, and all kind of stuff moving on their own, noises that are not supposed to be there. All of this can be signs and tips. This is totally natural. You won't need any magic, you won't need anything. You won't need any drugs nor alcohol. You might use some, I don't know, candles to call your dragon back. You can use elements, fire, water. When you're in the bath, look at the water flowing. Notice the changes. Tell your dragon, oh, if the water's flowing or doing this or that, it means this or that. Use your sign language, the one people use between humans. Like, you can use some kind of sign language. Example, when I raise my fingers in a certain way, it means certain things, and my dragon sees it, and she understands. Just use a code language, whatever it is, with your dragon, that which gonna help to communicate when you cannot speak out loud in public places and stuff like that. Try to be subtle, of course. You can also use an altar. You can use so many things. Don't hesitate to leave some notes, some little paper with notes on it, to show your dragon that you love it, to put some drawings, some painting, some stuff. Make your own altar. Try to meditate as often as you can. These are all things you can do, but the most efficient way is to learn how to speak telepathically with your mind, with your dragon and such. And with time and practice. At first, of course, you will think, oh, I'm making the thoughts up. This is me talking, but no. You will notice with time the differences, and your dragon's gonna help you. Try to discern what's real and what's not, and what the dragon says and what it doesn't say, or what you made up in your mind. So don't be too hard with yourself. At some point, you will get there. You will understand. Oh, this is the dragon thinking, this is not me. Oh, I did not make this up. Oh, okay. So you will create this bond. It's gonna be even stronger. But it's okay to make mistakes.